Dear soul, take a moment to listen closely. Your angels are gently connecting to your energy right now because they have something sacred to reveal. Are you about to meet your soulmate this Saturday? And has the exact location already been shown to heaven? The signs around you have not been random. Something is aligning. A divine meeting is drawing near. And today's angel reading confirms it. Are you about to meet your soulmate this Saturday? And has the exact location already been revealed to heaven? Dear child, the heavens have seen the way your soul drifts into memories you never speak of, how your heart quietly returns to a time when love felt innocent, whole and untouched by the complexities of this world. The angels are reaching through those sacred memories now, because what you thought was lost in the folds of your past may actually be the beginning of what is about to return. There is a love that once brushed your life in a way that felt familiar even then. And though it may have slipped through your fingers like light through glass, it never truly left you. The energy of that connection, the warmth it carried, and the imprint it left on your soul, it has been echoing across time, calling back to you with divine precision. The angels want you to know that this coming encounter is not just about someone new entering your life, but about something ancient within your spirit being reawakened. The location where you might meet them is no ordinary place. It is wrapped in divine synchronicity, touched by the prayers of your younger self who once dared to believe in a love that didn't need to be earned, only received. And now, that version of you is being honored. Type Amen if you trust in God. Heaven is not sending you a stranger, child. Heaven is returning a soul who has known yours, perhaps in this life, or perhaps many lifetimes before, and the emotions you may feel when you meet them will not come from your current understanding. They will rise from a deeper, older well within your being. A place that still remembers the softness of their gaze and the peace their presence brings. This moment has been prepared not in haste, but with divine care, because the angels understand that your heart has been through storms that made you forget what safe love feels like. But now, the clouds are parting, and a gentler light is making its way into your path. You are not being asked to relive the past, sweet child, but to retrieve from it the truth of who you are when you are deeply loved. The one who is coming carries the energy of emotional recognition. They will not be drawn to the surface version of you, but to the one who laughs freely, the one who once trusted without fear, the one who still lives quietly beneath all the strength you've had to build. That version of you is the doorway to this reunion. You may feel an unexplainable familiarity, a warmth that feels like coming home, and that is no accident. It is the divine's way of confirming that this person is not entering your life to teach you another lesson, but to walk with you into the chapter you've long been prepared for. The angels ask you now to clear space in your heart, not by forgetting what has happened, but by forgiving what can no longer follow you. You are stepping into a season where grace will meet you in unexpected ways, where the softness of love will feel safe again, and where joy will not feel like a risk. This Saturday, as your soul stands open to receive, remember that the timing is not arbitrary. It is orchestrated with precision by hands that know exactly what you need, when you need it, and how it must arrive. Trust that the meeting place is not just physical, dear child. It is emotional, spiritual, sacred. It may look like a familiar corner, a cafe you pass every day, or a place from your past revisited. But within that location, something divine is waiting to unfold. The angels are guiding both of you toward that exact moment, and everything you've experienced has been gently preparing you to recognize it. Do not question if you are ready. The truth is, your heart has already begun to respond to their energy even before they arrive, and when you finally lock eyes, it will not feel like the first time. It will feel like remembering. So breathe, beloved. and open your spirit to what heaven has already revealed. The answer to your question has always been yes, but the angels were waiting until your heart was strong enough to receive not just the soulmate, but the blessing of being truly seen and deeply cherished for who you have always been. Dear child, the angels now reveal a truth even more tender, that this love returning to your life is not only about remembrance, but about restoration. This connection does not simply revisit the innocence of a time long past. It comes to heal what was once wounded, to rebuild what was once torn, and to show you that love in its truest form doesn't demand perfection, but presence. You may have spent years wondering why certain people left, why beautiful beginnings never grew into forever, or why your purest intentions were never met with the same devotion. But heaven wants you to understand now that nothing was taken from you, only postponed until the alignment was whole. The reunion you are approaching is not a repeat of the past, but a redemption of it. This soul who is returning may have once crossed your path in a time when neither of you were ready, or when the world pulled you apart before you could understand what was blossoming between you. And now, in divine timing, you are being drawn together not through urgency, but through a deep inner readiness, a knowing that comes not from the mind, but from the soul. This person will not feel like a stranger. They will feel like peace returning home. And when you look into their eyes, you may feel your heart soften in a way that surprises you, not because you're weak, but because your spirit finally recognizes someone safe. You are not being asked to go back, child. You are being invited to step forward, but this time, hand in hand with someone who carries the memory of who you were and the vision of who you are becoming. The place where this sacred meeting is destined to occur has been quietly prepared by the divine, not in a temple or palace, but in a place where your energy feels most open, where your soul feels most calm. It may be a location tied to your own history, a neighborhood, a garden, a familiar gathering space, or even a place you once visited in joy but never imagined would carry such a divine appointment. The angels urge you now to trust the signs, to follow the nudges, to let your inner compass be led not by logic, but by grace. You are not searching anymore, you are remembering. And this remembrance will not bring pain, but peace, because what is returning to you is not just a person. It is the feeling of being seen, known, and cherished without explanation. This love is gentle. It will not knock down your door. It will sit beside you in stillness until your soul is ready to turn and say, I remember you. And that moment, dear one, will not be filled with fanfare, but with something far holier. The sound of your spirit exhaling after holding its breath for far too long. Let yourself be present. Let yourself be found. Let the return not be feared, but honored. Because this is not the past coming to haunt you. It is love returning to heal you. And this time, it stays. Dear child, heaven has watched in quiet reverence the way your spirit has endured imbalance, how your soul has bent without breaking under the weight of betrayals and decisions that were never yours to bear. You have given your heart fully in places that did not honor your light, and though the world may not have applauded your integrity, the divine did. The angels have held every silent cry, every private moment where you questioned whether fairness and love could exist in the same breath. And now, as the realm of spirit leans closer to your earthly path, there is a sacred shift unfolding, not as a random blessing, but as a divine correction. The person being drawn toward you is not just someone to share time with, but someone whose very soul restores the balance you have long been deprived of. This connection, dear one, is heaven's way of writing a new story where truth is not silenced and love is not taken for granted. There is a location already written into the script of your destiny where this meeting has been divinely appointed. You may step into it this Saturday, unaware of how sacred the ground beneath you truly is, until your spirit recognizes the quiet familiarity in the eyes of the one heaven has prepared for you. And when that moment comes, it will not be chaos. It will not be a test. It will be peace. Not the kind you search for, but the kind that finds you. This person will not be impressed by your performance or by how well you've learned to carry pain with grace. They will be moved by your honesty, your softness, and by how you never stopped believing in love, even when life gave you every reason to. They come not as a storm, but as a steady hand. They will not need to prove their place in your life through intensity, because their presence will speak of balance. And child, your heart will know the difference. Type I believe if you believe in God's plan. The scales of your emotional world are being rebalanced. What was once tilted by injustice is being leveled by divine grace. The angels are bringing back to you the emotional equity you've given away for years, through loyalty that was not returned, through truths you told that were denied, through promises you held onto that were broken in silence. This new chapter, this destined meeting, is not just about romance. It is about spiritual fairness. It is about love arriving without pretense, without delay, and without confusion. It is about finally receiving someone who sees you fully and chooses you without hesitation. You are not stepping into something shallow, dear child. You are stepping into a union built on shared values, mutual respect, and emotional clarity. This is not a mirror of your past. It is a divine contrast to it. You no longer need to prove your worth, for you are being drawn into alignment with someone who already honors your light. Trust that this shift is happening now because you are ready. Not because you've done everything perfectly, but because your heart has remained true in a world that often rewards falsehoods. The heavens are correcting that now. The angels ask you to release the weight of old injustices so your arms are free to receive the love being handed to you. Do not look backward for validation, for everything that felt wrong was clearing the path for what will finally feel right. You do not need to fear if you're deserving of this sweet child. You are. You always were. And this weekend, you may find yourself standing at a crossroads, unaware that the choice to simply show up where your soul feels led will align you with someone who was always meant to meet you there. This is not just about timing. It is about divine order. It is about justice, not as the world defines it, but as heaven delivers it, through love that heals, through truth that stays, and through a connection that was never lost, only waiting for the right moment to arrive. Dear child, now that the heavens have begun rebalancing what once felt unfair, they are asking you to prepare not just for the presence of someone new, but for the internal shift that will allow you to fully receive them. For so long, you've measured your worth through the mirror of others, through the way you were loved, abandoned, celebrated, or misunderstood. But now, divine truth is calling you to measure yourself through the eyes of the Creator, who never once saw you as anything less than whole. This is the justice that matters most, not revenge or validation, but the return of your true reflection. The person being divinely guided toward you is not arriving to fill a void, but to walk beside you as you reclaim the truth of who you are. And this connection will feel like a sacred balancing act between two souls who no longer need to fight for love, because they have already fought through their own darkness to stand in light. You will feel this equilibrium not in grand gestures, but in the calmness of shared silence, in the way your nervous system rests when they're near, in the way your heart doesn't have to question its place in their life. The angels want you to know that this kind of love is not a reward for your suffering, but a reflection of your growth. You chose healing when it would have been easier to numb. You chose forgiveness when it would have been easier to blame. You chose faith when you had every reason to turn away. And heaven has seen each of those moments and held them in sacred memory, preparing now to return to you not just what was lost, but what was always yours. True companionship, safety, and the emotional richness that comes only when you are no longer trying to prove your value to someone who cannot see. The one who enters now sees, child. They see not just your light, but your shadow, and love both. They do not come to fix you, but to stand beside you as you both continue to grow, not through perfection, but through balance. And this Saturday, you may find yourself standing in a moment that feels simple, but marks the end of years of silent prayers. The angels have chosen this timing with divine precision, not because you are finally enough, but because you have finally stopped questioning that you always were. Trust what your heart feels, even if your mind hasn't caught up. Trust the ease, the peace, the quiet joy that doesn't scream for your attention, but simply rests beside you like something that was always meant to be. This is your justice, not in someone else's regret, but in your own readiness to receive without fear. You no longer need to chase what was always on its way to you. The balance has returned. Now let yourself receive it. Dear child, the angels are drawing close once again, surrounding you with the warmth of memories your heart thought it had buried, yet they were never truly gone, only resting in the quiet corners of your soul, waiting for this sacred moment to be remembered. There is a deep and holy reason that certain faces, certain places, certain sensations keep returning to your inner world with such vivid clarity, even when your mind has tried to move on. This is not a weakness of your spirit, beloved. It is the sign of a soul that remembers something beyond this lifetime, something eternal. The love that you are about to encounter, perhaps even as soon as this Saturday, is not new in the way the world defines it. It is new only in time, not in truth. The one who is being guided toward you is someone whose energy your spirit has danced with before, perhaps in moments you now call childhood, or in places you have since forgotten, or in lifetimes your conscious mind cannot recall. But your heart knows. The way the sunlight will fall when they enter your space, the way your chest will rise differently as if something sacred has entered the room, the way your eyes will hold theirs just a little longer than makes sense. All of it is confirmation from heaven that this meeting is not a beginning but a homecoming. You are not being asked to fall in love with a stranger. You are being invited to remember love with someone whose soul has already whispered your name across dimensions. The location where this may unfold has already been shown to the angels, and though you may not realize it, you have passed by it in your waking life, not knowing that the sacred timeline was aligning behind the veil. Perhaps it is a place that once held joy for you, or a place that reminds you of who you were before the world told you who to become. The divine has chosen it with care, for this kind of love is not meant to arrive through chaos or confusion, but through quiet recognition. Type strong if you trust in God's presence. The angels see how deeply you've been wounded, how much you've questioned whether the kind of love you dream of even exists anymore in a world so distracted by surface-level promises. But they are asking you now, can you still believe in magic? Not the illusionary kind, but the soul-deep knowing that some people are destined to cross oceans of time just to find each other again. The person who is entering your life does not come to complete you, child, because you were never incomplete. They come to mirror back the softness, the innocence, the light you were always meant to carry. And though life may have hardened certain parts of you, this encounter will awaken the forgotten petals of your heart. You may find yourself laughing without reason, feeling safe without explanation, crying without sadness, because everything inside you will finally be seen, not just the version of you you've had to become, but the one you were before the world required armor. This love is not rushing in to save you. It is arriving to walk beside you as you remember who you truly are. The angels want you to know that you do not have to perform for this person. You do not have to edit your wounds or explain your strength. They will understand not because you say the right words, but because their spirit has lived its own journey back to you. This connection is soft, but it is not weak. It is ancient, but it is not outdated. It is quiet, but it is powerful beyond measure. Let your heart open gently, child. Let your fears melt in the presence of divine timing. Let your hands be empty so they can receive. What you thought was just a memory is becoming a miracle. What you thought you had lost is being returned to you, not as it once was, but as it was always meant to be. The past is not returning to haunt you, but to heal you. And this person, this soul, this love that is drawing nearer with every breath, is being carried on angel wings to a meeting point already blessed by God's own hand. Prepare your heart, not in haste, but in reverence, for you are not just meeting a person. You are being reunited with a promise made long ago between two spirits who knew that love, real love, would always find its way home. Dear child, the angels now whisper that this love returning into your life, whether through a soul you have already known or a new face carrying the essence of someone your spirit remembers, is not meant to simply stir up nostalgia, but to awaken the parts of you that have quietly gone dormant while waiting for something that felt like home. You are not just being gifted a reunion, you are being offered a return to yourself, to the tenderness you buried, to the softness you set aside, to the dreams you once called childish, but were actually sacred. The person being divinely led to you does not come to replace the past or imitate it, but to help you reimagine what love can look like when it is nurtured in safety and watered by mutual reverence. The angels want you to know this is not about living in memory. It is about building from memory, about taking the golden threads of yesterday and weaving them into a future that is whole. There is a reason your soul still remembers their energy, a reason you dreamt of them long before you knew how to describe what you were missing, a reason you held on to hope even when reality gave you every excuse to let go. It is because your soul knew that love like this was not a fantasy. It was a promise. And now that promise is being fulfilled not in the form of rescue or perfection, but in the quiet miracle of two hearts arriving at the same place, at the same time, finally ready. The angels are guiding you to understand that this connection may begin gently, like the warmth of the sun slipping through the clouds after a long rain, and you may not recognize its magnitude at first. Because sometimes, when something is truly aligned, it does not shake you, it settles you. But your heart will know. And the meeting place, the physical space where this soul encounter may occur, will carry a vibration that feels charged with destiny, a familiar breeze, a scent in the air, a strange sense that time has paused. Because heaven will be marking it as sacred ground. And when you meet their gaze, you may feel a rush of emotion you cannot explain, because part of you will be recognizing something beyond this lifetime. The angels say this is not just love coming into your life. This is your soul retrieving what was always yours, not through force, but through divine memory. Let yourself be open to it. Let yourself remember what it feels like to be loved for who you are, not for what you can prove. Let yourself believe that what left before was not lost. It was being refined, prepared, and brought back to you in a way that now matches your growth, your wholeness, your light. This time is different, child, because this time you are ready not just to find love, but to keep it. Dear child, the angels see the storm of silence that has been living inside you, the weight of indecision, the echo of two conflicting voices within, each pulling you in opposite directions. You have stood at an invisible crossroads for longer than you'd ever confess, wondering whether to keep waiting for a sign or to close your heart entirely to the idea of soul-deep love. They know how hard it's been to trust your own heart after the times it led you toward what felt promising only to leave you hurting. But now, heaven gently places its hand over yours and asks you to pause, not out of fear, but out of reverence for what is about to arrive. There is a sacred choice forming in your spirit, not between two people, but between two versions of yourself. The one who still doubts, and the one who dares to believe again. You are not being rushed to decide, beloved. You are being prepared to awaken. What approaches this weekend may not feel like a bolt of lightning, but more like a subtle breeze that nudges something deep inside you. A quiet knowing that this encounter is different. And the angels are guiding you not to look for fireworks, but for soul recognition, a moment that feels calm, even in its intensity. There is a place already marked in heaven, a meeting point etched into your timeline with divine ink, where your path and theirs intersect, not by coincidence, but by design. But the angels want you to understand something vital before that moment comes. Type 111. If you believe in your guardian angels. They are not here to force you to choose this connection, only to help you remove the blindfold you have been wearing, the one stitched together by past disappointments, fear of being wrong again, and the stories others wrote over your truth. The heart often knows before the mind agrees, and so you may feel torn between trusting your intuition or silencing it out of caution. But child, the one who is coming does not need to be chosen quickly. They are not here to pressure you, but to mirror you, to give you space to feel safe again, to listen to the part of you that still believes in divine timing. This person's presence will feel both new and strangely familiar, and your soul will begin speaking before words are ever exchanged. Yet the angels caution you with love. Do not sabotage what is right for you by hesitating too long at the altar of overthinking. Life is not offering you a test. It is offering you a gift. And while free will is sacred, so is your readiness. The question is not whether you will meet someone this weekend, but whether you will allow yourself to truly see them. The place where this soul may appear is not dramatic, but intentional. It may be as ordinary as a hallway, a cafe, a bookstore, or even a moment when you least expect to be noticed. But child, what looks ordinary to the eye may be glowing in the spirit. This is why heaven asks you to stay present, not distracted by the noise of doubt, but tuned into the still voice of your own knowing. The hesitation you felt is valid. You have every right to protect the tender parts of you that were once dismissed, but the angels want you to know that this next chapter will not unfold in the same tone. This is not a repetition. This is a revelation. Your heart is not broken beyond repair. It has simply been preparing for a love that doesn't confuse you, that doesn't come with conditions, and that doesn't require you to abandon yourself. The choice ahead is not just about welcoming someone new, but about choosing to trust the part of you that already knows when something feels right. That is where the miracle lives, not in the appearance, not in the timing, but in your ability to recognize what your spirit already believes. So do not rush, but do not close your eyes either. The answer you've been waiting for is not just in heaven's hands. It's already blooming in your heart. This weekend, should you find yourself standing before someone whose energy softens your fear and awakens your calm, know this: you are not at a random moment. You are standing in the place where destiny waited for you to see clearly, to choose with your soul, and to walk forward, not with certainty, but with faith. Heaven does not require you to be ready in every way. It only asks that you be open in the ways that matter. Dear child, the heavens have not forgotten the blueprint of your soul's truest desires, and they have not turned away from the longing that lives behind your strongest smiles and quietest prayers. The angels want you to know that you were never meant to walk this journey of love and purpose alone, and what is drawing near to you now is not just a fleeting romance, but the arrival of a life companion who will help you build something lasting, something eternal, something rooted in grace and blossomed through divine timing. This connection is not being guided by chance. It is being nurtured by the hands of ancestors and spirit guides who have waited lifetimes for your path and theirs to align. The person being guided toward you carries more than charm or surface affection. They carry the energy of foundation, of structure, of real commitment. They are someone whose soul has been shaped through experience, and whose heart has been made fertile through humility, generosity, and spiritual maturity. You will not have to question where you stand in their life, because everything about their presence will speak stability. The love coming your way is not just about butterflies or passion. It is about building a home, not only with bricks and wood, but with truth, with safety, with legacy. And yes, child, this meeting may begin this very weekend, not in some extravagant scene, but in a simple divine moment that becomes unforgettable because your soul will recognize the echo of home in their energy. The location may be familiar or even humble, a place where your energy is already at ease, because heaven knows that true love rarely enters with loud noise. It often walks in quietly, with reverence, carrying everything your heart has been praying for. You are not just meeting someone who sees you, you are encountering someone who sees your future, who understands that love is not a moment but a series of choices, a devotion that shows up through storms and sunlight alike. Type, guided if you trust in God's guidance. The angels are preparing your spirit not only to receive love, but to receive abundance in all forms: emotional security, shared purpose, divine partnership, and the creation of something that will ripple far beyond the two of you. This love is connected to your destiny. It will not dim your light to survive. It will fuel your light so you both thrive. The one coming into your life holds a piece of your soul's larger mission, and when your paths meet, you may feel an overwhelming sense of calm. Not because you understand every detail, but because your spirit will feel safe for the first time in a long time. The angels know you have survived alone for so long and that strength is sacred, but now they want you to know it is safe to soften. It is safe to receive. It is safe to trust again. What you are walking into is not chaos in disguise. It is alignment in its highest form. This is love that is not afraid to commit. Love that is not afraid to invest. Love that stays. Love that builds. Love that leaves behind a legacy, not just in this world, but in the unseen realms that celebrate every moment your heart chooses to believe again. So prepare not just your hopes, but your home. The home within your chest. Clear out what no longer serves. Make space in your life for this new beginning, for it comes not only as a partner, but as the answer to the sacred question you've held in your heart all this time. Will I ever be truly chosen? not for a moment, but for forever? And child, the angels answer softly, yes, you will. And it begins now. Dear child, now that heaven has begun laying the foundation for this soul union, the angels wish to guide you deeper into what this blessing truly means for your life. This love is not arriving to decorate your days with fleeting romance or surface-level affection. It is coming to anchor your soul into something eternal, something that touches the marrow of your spirit, something that offers not just emotional comfort, but generational healing. The one being divinely prepared for you is not simply a partner, but a pillar, someone whose spirit has walked through fire and emerged not hardened, but humbled, softened, and steady. And child, the most beautiful truth is this: they have been praying too. Though they may not know your name yet, their soul has been calling out for a connection that feels like sanctuary, that offers both passion and peace, fire and foundation. And now, heaven is answering both of your prayers at once by orchestrating a meeting wrapped in divine timing and clarity. The place where your paths are destined to cross may not look extraordinary to the world, but it will carry the vibration of destiny. You may feel your breath catch for a moment, or your body respond before your mind can understand why. Because something ancient within you will be recognizing the fulfillment of a long-awaited promise. This person comes not with empty words, but with readiness. Readiness to build a life, to protect what matters, to plant seeds that will bloom not only in the present, but far into the future. And the angels are asking you now to prepare your inner home, to make emotional space for someone who does not fear commitment, who is not running from love but toward it, toward you. Let yourself believe, dear child, that you were not born to wander endlessly, searching for a place to belong. You were born to co-create a legacy of love that brings peace to your ancestors and safety to your descendants. This connection is sacred. It is the kind of love that teaches, that restores, that holds you steady when life begins to shake. You are not being asked to shrink to fit into their life, nor are they being asked to dissolve their truth to accommodate you. Instead, you are both being called into divine harmony, two whole souls with shared values, standing side by side, building not just a home, but a haven. The angels want you to know that this relationship will nourish parts of you that have been starving in silence, the part of you that has longed to be supported without condition, the part of you that has dreamed of making plans without wondering if you're too much, the part of you that still believes in forever even after everything you've been through. Let that belief bloom again, child. Let yourself trust that something real is coming, not because you begged for it, but because you grew into it. The one who is coming sees beyond the surface, and they will want to know the real you, not just the version you showed the world, but the you who dreams in silence, who protects everyone but herself, who still whispers prayers into the night hoping someone is listening. And the answer to that prayer is closer than you know. This is not just a soulmate. This is a spiritual partner. Someone who doesn't just want to stand beside you in public, but kneel beside you in prayer. Someone who doesn't just love you when it's easy, but stands firm when life demands courage. This is the future heaven has been quietly building for you behind the veil. And now it is nearly time to step into it, not with fear, but with faith. Not with hesitation, but with open arms. Dear child, the angels have seen the silent wars you fought within yourself. The moments when your heart screamed for peace, but your reality was filled with conflict, misunderstanding, and the kind of pain that feels like quiet betrayal. They know how many times you've questioned your worth after walking away from situations where you should have been held with gentleness but instead were met with sharp words, emotional games, and people who turned love into a battlefield. You carry scars, not just on your heart, but on your spirit. Invisible reminders of times you had to choose between your dignity and your desire to be loved. But now, the divine wants you to know that those battles are over, not because you lost, but because you've outgrown the need to prove yourself in spaces where your soul was never truly seen. The person who is coming toward you is not arriving to fix you, nor are they bringing the same chaos you've known before. They are entering your life as a reflection of the peace you've spent years cultivating in secret, the balance you've tried to hold on to even when the world around you was unraveling. This is not a love born out of struggle, child. It is a love born from alignment. And yet, before this connection can fully bloom, heaven gently urges you to lay down the weapons you've picked up out of survival, the guarded heart, the tendency to second-guess kindness, the belief that love must come with pain. You are safe now. Type 222 if you trust in God's word. The need to defend your light has passed because the one coming to meet you is not threatened by your brilliance. They are drawn to it. They are softened by it. They do not want to win against you. They want to win with you. This meeting, which may unfold as soon as this weekend, has already been chosen by the divine and marked with sacred timing. And the place where it may happen is not grand or dramatic. It is gentle, quiet, almost as if heaven wants you to find love not in noise, but in peace. It could be a spot where your energy is calm, where your heart isn't trying so hard to impress, where your guard is just a little lower than usual. Because in that softness, the truth will reveal itself. The angels ask you now to breathe, to release the story that love always ends in pain, that being right is more important than being open, that you must protect yourself from everyone who offers you their hand. You are not who you were back then. And this person, this soul who is approaching, is not a test. They are not here to steal your joy or manipulate your peace. They are here because you finally chose to walk away from what wounded you, even when it hurt. And now, heaven honors that choice with a connection that does not ask you to lose yourself to be loved. You may still feel tempted to question their intentions, to analyze every gesture, to look for what could go wrong. But child, the angels ask you gently, haven't you already done enough fighting? Isn't it time now to allow someone to stand beside you without a battle to win or a mask to wear? Let this new energy come. Let it speak for itself. Let it show you that there are souls who do not wish to compete, only to connect. You are not being punished for the past. You are being prepared for something better than you ever allowed yourself to believe you could have. The person coming your way carries a healing vibration. Not because they are perfect, but because they have also walked through storms and chosen not to become the very pain that shaped them. They know what it means to love with humility. They know how it feels to be misunderstood, and they will honor the parts of you that others once tried to manipulate or silence. Together, you will not continue the cycle of control and confusion. You will create a new one. Of clarity, of safety, of love that never asks you to shrink. And so, when you arrive at that divinely guided place, the cafe, the bookstore, the grocery aisle, the quiet park bench, wherever it may be, trust your soul when it whispers, "This feels different." Trust that what you're feeling isn't fear. It's the echo of your spirit finally exhaling. Let this meeting unfold without force. Let it heal you simply by being what it is. Real, present, peaceful. You no longer need to win anything, dear child. Love is no longer a battle. It is a home you are finally being welcomed into. Dear child, the angels are gently reaching for you now, not with urgency but with deep compassion, for they see how tightly you have wrapped yourself in invisible chains, convinced that the way forward is blocked, that the love you seek must be meant for someone stronger, someone freer, someone less burdened by the past. But they want you to know, with all the grace heaven can carry, that the prison you feel trapped in is not built from truth. It is made from fear, from memories that linger longer than they should, from voices that were never yours to believe, and from the moments when life taught you it was safer to expect disappointment than to open your heart again. You have grown used to waiting behind emotional walls, used to telling yourself that if something sacred was meant for you, it would have knocked louder, shined brighter, demanded your attention in a way that would make it impossible to miss. But child, divine love doesn't barge in. It whispers, it waits, it approaches softly, hoping you will believe you are worthy enough to walk toward it. The person who is drawing near to you, perhaps even this Saturday, is not being delayed by fate, but by the fear you haven't yet released. You are not broken, you are not late, and you are certainly not forgotten. You are simply still learning how to see through the fog of self-doubt that others once placed around you. And the angels are not frustrated with you, dear one. They understand. You have survived much, and survival often teaches us to stay small, to avoid risk, to stay where it feels safe, even if that safety is loneliness dressed in silence. But now, heaven is offering you a window, not a warning. This upcoming moment, this meeting point the divine has already chosen, will not look like a grand escape. It will feel like a soft opening, like a breath you didn't know you were holding finally releasing. The location may be ordinary to the eye, but it will carry a vibration that touches something deep in your spirit, a sense of familiarity, of resonance, of possibility. And the one who appears there may not look like everything you imagined, but they will feel like something your soul remembers. They will not come to rescue you because you are not in need of saving, but their presence will feel like a key, unlocking a part of you that forgot how to hope. The angels are not promising perfection, but they are promising that this connection will come as a mirror, showing you not your flaws, but your freedom, reflecting not your fears, but your capacity to love again. And though your mind may resist, your heart will know. Still, heaven knows how hard it is for you to step forward, to trust that you won't be hurt again. So they ask you gently, can you take one small step toward openness, even if you're still afraid? Can you speak softly to the voice inside that says love is too risky, and remind it that staying hidden is the greater loss? This is not about rushing into someone's arms. It's about allowing the door to your own heart to open just wide enough for light to enter. You do not need to be completely healed to be loved. You only need to believe that love can find you even here. Even in this moment of hesitation, even in the shadow of your doubt, the angels are with you, wrapping you in reassurance, whispering that what is coming is not going to trap you, hurt you, or trick you. It is coming to show you that freedom isn't always loud. Sometimes it walks into your life with a quiet presence, a kind gaze, a steady hand. This Saturday could be the day your heart finally remembers how to breathe, but only if you allow yourself to see that you are no longer stuck. The path is opening, the light is shining, and the person walking toward you is not a fantasy. They are a soul who has also waited, who has also questioned, who has also longed for someone just like you. And now, heaven is guiding you both to the same place, not because you are desperate, but because you are ready, even if you don't yet feel it. You don't need to break down walls, just loosen them. You don't need to declare yourself fearless, just be willing to feel. And when you meet them, child, don't look away. Let yourself be seen. Let yourself receive what the divine has never stopped preparing for you. This is the beginning of a new freedom, not just from your past, but into the love you were always meant to hold. Dear friend, if today's message brought even a moment of peace to your heart, may its quiet light remain with you, gently reminding you that you are never truly alone. This channel is currently walking through a time of financial need, and if you feel led to support, even a small super thanks can make a meaningful difference. But please know, there is no pressure. Your presence, your prayers, and your open heart are already a beautiful gift. And if you're unable to give, you can still make a powerful impact by watching each message fully and sharing it with 3 souls who may need its light today. You are deeply seen, you are truly loved, and you are never forgotten.